Many thanks for staying with us on Core Digest today. We are talking about the $1 billion approval for arms procurement. My guests on the program today, Jide Ologun, a legal practitioner, and Sheson Karim, a social commentator. Thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good morning.
Let's look at the legal angle to this, Barrister Ologun. Does the president have the powers to make such approval without constitutional backing, without going through the National Assembly?
Yeah, he is expected to go through the National Assembly, and that is why we are having the feedback we are having now. And maybe the next argument you have is that, okay, it was just a decision taken by the Security Council that will be forwarded to the National Assembly. Because I recall that when this step commenced, the National Assembly also came out that it could only be done with their approval, just like when appointments are made and the National Assembly has to confirm before the appointees start functioning. And that is why we have the three arms of government as a matter of checks and balances. And I suspect that it may be a tight one if the president decides to go ahead, because already the environment is heated up by distrust of purpose of assessing this funding. And when we even move away from the legalistic angle, I recall that recently we were talking about buying some fighter jets from the US, so US making the money, and we are buying equipment to kill who, to destroy who, to destroy ourselves in Nigeria here. It's quite funny. Why don't we focus on the fundamentals? Who are the ones behind this violence we are having, the ideology they represent? I mean, if people came out to say they are against Western education and we have had this level of destruction brought over the nation, should we not begin to evaluate the power of education and compare that, okay, if ignorance has done this badly for us, why don't we shift to embracing education? So those are all the issues. And of course, these are internal crisis, though at a point the Minister of Agriculture came out to tell us that perhaps these invaders are from foreign countries. If they are from foreign countries, are we now saying we are so porous that we cannot defend Nigerians against whether it is internal invasion or external invasion? And if we want to go to the West African region, there was this herdsmen invasion in Ghana. Ghana dealt with it decisively, and I'm not sure they went getting some billions of naira somewhere. So it's a matter of having the goodwill and the political will to do what is right.
All right, in all of this,
we all know the impact of insecurity on this country. As we speak now, whether we believe it or not, some investors who should remain in Nigeria are relocating their families outside this country. We are having brain drain, businesses are relocating.
Okay, the People's Democratic Party, the opposition, has come to say that this money that we're talking about is not actually meant for arms procurement, but to prosecute the 2019 general elections.
Yeah, the question we should ask ourselves is that why many Nigerians are not comfortable with this decision from the presidency. It's because we have a history of diverting our commonwealth for personal interest, for political benefits, and some other benefits. And due to that fact, if PDP is talking that yes, because they've been there before, they know what they do, so they understand the terrain of the politics behind taking a large sum of money for such projects. However, security is a serious business in any part of the world, because without security there cannot be peace and progress. And without peace and progress, all our agenda as a country will not become a reality. So yesterday, Mr. Femi Additional said that the presidency, through the senior special assistant to the president on National Assembly, will communicate to the National Assembly. So we are looking to the National Assembly, because they are the representatives of the people, to do the right thing, question the motive, ask questions, so that at the end of the day we can see the light and the truth behind this matter. Because as a country, we've had bad history of using money that are meant for employment, for education, for healthcare, to few people
All right. Do you think the PDP's fears or concerns is well-founded?
He made a very valid point. PDP was there. PDP has been accused of mismanaging such funds. That is how the Dasuki Gate came. And we discovered when Dasuki started to confess that that money was shared amongst politicians, kings, preachers, and was not used for the intended purpose. And there is a case we can bring out from here. So if people got so much from the money, then you may not want the situation that is bringing the money to be out of the platform. And that is why the governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, said that Boko Haram is a business. People are making money from it. As we speak now, the Dapchi girls, they were released. Even if officially we have claimed we did not pay them, we claimed to have negotiated. Was the negotiation free? You see, how do they fund their campaigns? Globally, terrorists are known to mobilize a lot of funds. That is why we start dealing with money laundering and stuff like that. So there are some who are benefiting to the detriment of the state. And that is my concern. So if PDP is crying foul, it's because maybe when they were there, what they did was 50%, and they're now seeing a group about to do 90%. You will say, oh, this,
So you think their fears are not well-founded?
I'm not saying it's not well-founded.
You think they have the moral justification to raise this kind of...
We should listen to them.
Time?
They should raise concern. But then, their concern is political.
Thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria.